Watch something out of the movie.
Oof, a dream vacation in the Bahamas quickly became a living nightmare for cruise passengers after severe weather violently rocked the Carnival Sunshine. The ship was returning to South Carolina over the weekend when it hit rough seas, rough putting it mildly, leaving passengers frightened, wondering if they would make it back home. This, of course, according to one of our next guests, Bill Hassler, who was there for all of the fun.
Not so sure it was fun. Let's show you this video that he shot. You can see all sorts of debris being tossed around the ship, also water rushing into hallways and rooms. Carnival said this in a statement, quote, Carnival Sunshine's return to Charleston was impacted by the weather and rough seas on Saturday. The weather's prolonged impact on the Charleston area delayed the ship's arrival on Sunday. And as a result, the next voyage's embarkation was also delayed. We appreciate the patience and understanding of all our guests. Carnival Sunshine is now sailing on its next cruise. Well, Bill Hassler was on that ship and joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
I told you I grew up going on cruises. Never did I see something like this. What was it like to live through?
Actually, I'm surprised I'm still alive.
Really?
Yeah, it was that bad. I've seen the looks on people's face when I was a crane operator in New York City, and I was running a locomotive for the Sandhogs, and I flipped the train over and slid it 650 feet on its roof. And when I climbed out of that train, the look of fear and death, they thought it was like I seen ghosts, like they seen ghosts. And when I got off the ship at 6, 7 o'clock Saturday evening, when it was supposed to dock at 8 in the morning, the look that I seen on these Sandhogs faces years ago was the same look I seen on all these people coming off the ship, like they were just white as ghosts.
You said at one point it seemed like Carnival was playing God with your lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, why would you sail into this storm with 80 mile an hour plus winds? I mean, who does that? I mean, I was a crane operator, and everybody that worked around me, around a crane or any equipment I was on, their lives were in my hands. So when the winds were bad or the weather was bad, we'd shut the job down and not work for safety. What were they thinking?
What do you think they should have done? Turn around?
I think they should have stayed down in port in the Bahamas, waited a day for the storm to subside a little bit, and then go. Or when they got into the storm, why didn't they go further out into the ocean to get to the other side of it, to the backside?
How accessible in the statement, which Poppy just shared, they thanked you for your patience and your understanding. How much communication was there as all of this was happening? Was there information on the loudspeakers? Were you told to go into certain areas?
No, very little. I don't even think the crew knew what they were doing. I don't think they were trained enough for a situation like that. They were actually at one point scavenging to get the life boats ready to throw us out into the sea with 40-plus foot waves. I don't even know how you would even get in a lifeboat. If that thing went down, we were all dead.
Wow.
Yeah. At one point, a wave hit my window and broke my window, and water was coming in.
Coming into the boat and into your stateroom?
Yes.
What did you do at that point?
Put on my life preserver.
You did?
Yeah, I actually fell asleep at one point for a little while with my life preserver on.
You heard us read Carnival's statement. I wonder if you want something else from them. I mean, it sounds like you're very concerned that preparations weren't made and safety wasn't prioritized.
They shouldn't have went through that storm, and they need to be held accountable.
What does that look like to you?
Meaning, as far as what?
Well, just not in terms of just you being compensated for that,
Oh,
but
no,
do you fear that could happen again?
Oh,
on
yeah,
another
I mean, listen, it was like
trip?
a coin toss for them, and they got lucky. Maybe the next time they won't be as lucky,
What do you think should then, just to follow up on Poppy's point there, what should change? What do you want to see change?
There's got to be different laws about heading into storms, especially when you're not in one. How do you sail out of sun into a storm like that? It made no sense.
Yeah. We're glad you're okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's traumatizing, and it's probably all just starting to soak in, right?
When I got home Sunday night, I had to crack open a beer and think about it, and I started shaking.
Really?
Because it just set in like that. Like, I couldn't even believe I'm still here. Like, when they say kiss the ground?
Yeah, kiss the ground.
Yeah.
And you're staying on dry land for a while?
Yeah. I'm staying away from the ocean.
We're so glad you're okay. Thank
Thank
you
you
very much.